A serious question of safety is being asked after a fire hydrant failed during a Hazleton firefight.
In the case of a fire, there's a chance the hydrant in front of your home won't function.
Is the fire hydrant in your neighborhood working? Hundreds upon hundreds remain out of service in Kansas City.
Defective hydrants risk lives. While technology and other firefighting equipment has been revamped, the hydrant has not been redesigned in over a century.
Which ones work and which ones don't?
They tried not one, but two fire hydrants.
The fire hydrant in front of his house
hydrant
failed.
Right in front of the house was not working.
Tonight, the two investigators expose a deadly problem for firefighters here in Chicago.
All of the fires you are about to see have one thing in common. The closest fire hydrants were frozen.
Water in the barrel.
They actually have to be drained by hand.
Even on the coldest days, a fire hydrant is never supposed to freeze. A frozen hydrant means it's broken, has a defective drain or a leak, leaving a standing pool of water in this part of the hydrant called the barrel.
A 6-month investigation by the two investigators found thousands of hydrants in Chicago have had this problem, putting both residents and firefighters at risk. Hydrant maintenance records obtained by the two investigators reveal 4,021 hydrants were listed as frozen in the last 4 years. And those are just the ones that happened to get checked.
People are in danger there.
These men have all worked for the Chicago Department of Water Management, which is responsible for hydrant maintenance.
It's people's lives.
Patrick McDonough, Bruce Randazzo, Michael McGann, and Archie High are risking their jobs by speaking out because they say there is a safety crisis. As many as half of the city's 47,000 hydrants pose a potential danger because they're clogged.
I cry. I cry every night.
Doris Ramos is forever trapped by this horrific scene.
It feels like a nightmare, and I want to wake up.
An inferno destroyed her house in the Little Village neighborhood 6 years ago. She escaped, but her nephew Frankie and two nieces, Samantha and Erica, were still inside. Firefighters tried repeatedly to rescue the children, but even they became trapped because there was no water to help them reach the kids. She says all 3 hydrants were frozen and critical minutes passed as hundreds of feet of hose had to be run to other hydrants a block away. Eventually, they got the kids out, running them to ambulances.
But it was too late. They were dead already.
6 years after the Ramos children died, the hydrant still didn't drain properly.
In a fire, after 2.5 minutes, it doubles in size every second. So speed and reliability mean everything. I'm an inventor and I'll always be a firefighter. I learned real early in my career the value of the fire hydrant in the fire department.
When this hydrant was first created, we had horses pulling our steam-operated pumps, and we went to Model T pumpers. That was the big advance. Now we have trucks that cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, can put out 1,500 gallons per minute for an average truck. The weak link became how we access our water system.
As a firefighter, New York City firefighter, I recognized the need that there had to be a change in the reliability of a fire hydrant was. In 100 years, there has been no real significant change, even though we know where the issues and problems are.
Well, fire hydrants are the critical part of the fire extinguishment tactic. A hydrant is as important as a firefighter. We have standards. We get to the scene within 4 minutes. We have setup time, which means connecting to a hydrant, stretching a hose line, another 4 minutes, and we expect that water to be on the fire in 8 minutes. And when the hydrant is broken, we don't accomplish that.
Through better engineering and better materials, we've come up with the solution. It's called the Sigelock Spartan Fire Hydrant. Here's your basic, standard, conventional fire hydrant. And you can see how the corrosion on there exists. Things can get damaged and bent. These can get cross-threaded. They throw debris inside. But the integrity of this hydrant is easily compromised. What I've done is I deconstructed the fire hydrant and identified all the vulnerable parts of a hydrant that are known to break down and fail consistently.
Where I come from in New York City, everything's missing. They damage the threads, they bend them, they knock them loose. So even if it's a working hydrant, you can't use it because this thing under pressure can blow out and kill somebody.
People don't realize the need for a hydrant until it's their house that's on fire and all of a sudden that hydrant's not working. And people are yelling, screaming out of the building. And firefighters are putting their lives at risk You know, and it's unnecessary. It's something that's time has come.
People believe they're just an ordinary fixture in the street. They are life-saving fire department appliances, and they shouldn't be used, for washing cars or for cleaning streets. People do not understand the importance of these hydrants. When you're at a fire and a hydrant doesn't work and the firefighters are standing around and no one can get water out of the hose, then you understand how important a fire hydrant is.
There's been very little change in the last 50 to 100 years in the fire hydrant technology. It's time has come to make a change into the 21st century.